You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello, you degenerate fucks, and welcome to the Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday, the 6th of April. A bit late today, this week with the podcast. Really busy this week. Same as last week. It's getting harder and harder to find time to record and do all the research. But not that the research is doing me any fucking good because I haven't touched for a football bet in about 6 weeks, which is mental. It's probably the worst run I've been on in years, but as I said last week, Cheltenham really helped me out. But yeah, there's no hiding. Football has not been great. But looking at this week, it's the Easter week holidays. So there is games, basically all weekend. There's loads of games tomorrow, which will be Friday. Basically Championship League One, League Two. There's other games, a few others about their National League and stuff. Saturday there's not loads on, but there's Premier League. There's a couple of games in France, a couple of a full thing in Germany, Italy, some games in Spain and Scotland. Sunday there's not a lot on Sunday, but there's probably enough for one bet. And then Monday again, we're back to full fixture list: Championship League One, League Two, National League, all that. So yeah, it's an Easter extravaganza. So hopefully, with the fact that there's plenty of football on over these next 4 days, hopefully I can get that win that I haven't had in a while. So I'll quickly go through last week before I get to the bet. So this week, what I've done is I've just picked a bet for Friday and a bet for Saturday. I probably will do other bets. Um, Definitely tomorrow. Saturday might be an issue because I'm actually going to Euro Disney with the family. So I was looking up there that there's actually restrictions on most of the bookies I'm in. William Hill, Bethy 65, Ladbrokes, most of them you can't use in France. So I might have to do a VPN or something like that. I don't know. I'll see what I can find a way around it. But anyway, last week, so I did. I had 21 quid landing me account that I won from an offer on William Hill. So I decided to use that for two big sevenfold over 1.5, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. So I'll get to that first. Or actually, I'll look at the early bet first. I did an early bet on Saturday morning. That was the closest I got all weekend. It was all up except for one team, a German team who drew one each. They were playing against 10 men for 20 minutes. It should have been a winner that. But anyway, then as I say, the overs only four up on Saturday out of seven, which is really bad. But when I get to the stats later, you'll see that even the over twos were bad. But the main bet, Sheffield Wednesday and over one was beat. It was one each. Middlesbrough were hammered 4-2. Dunfermline was nil each. Freiburg was one each, and the only team that won was Malmo. So not great. The evening bet, Galatasaray plus over 2.5 was 2-0 Galatasaray. Bayern, both teams to score and three cards was beat because Bayern lost that game to Bayern Leverkusen. PSV over two was up. Juve was up. Juventus Villa both to score, which was mental. Villa scored early, and I thought, right, this is going to be up. And then Chelsea had something like 20 odd shots, didn't score, and they ended up getting beat 2-0. Same thing in the Liverpool game there midweek. Chelsea were hammering Liverpool all sorts of shots and just couldn't score. I think if Chelsea had a striker, they'd probably be doing a lot better this season, and Potter probably wouldn't have lost his job. But I'd say in the summer they're going to buy, I don't know, at least probably two strikers. They'll spend a lot of money, but it shows in their last couple of games. Like, they're creating chances, but they just haven't got someone who's clinical in front of goal. Sunday, again, I did another sevenfold over 1.5. Seven out of the seven, five were up. One was 1-0, and then the 11 o'clock game at night was nil each, so it was two beat it. The other bet on Sunday was West Ham both to score. I was against Southampton, the 1-1-0. Nice were winning, they ended up drawing. Anderlecht won. Copenhagen was both teams to score was up, and Feyenoord plus over twos was up. But so I'll run through the stats very quickly here. There was 69 games. at the weekend. In the favourites department, and the Premier League, there was 6 favourites, 2 draws, 1 outsider. In the Championship, 4 draws, 4 outsiders. Sorry, 4 favourites, 4 draws, 4 outsiders. In League One, 4 draws, why am I saying draws first? 4 favourites, 5 draws, only 1 outsider in League One. That was out of 10. League Two, 5 favourites, 5 draws, 2 outsiders. National League, 4 draws. Why am I saying draws? What the fuck is going on? 4 favourites, 1 draw, and 2 outsiders in the National League. There was only 7 games at the weekend. National League North, 6 favourites, 4 draws, and 2 outsiders. National League South, only 7 games this time again. 3 favourites, 2 draws, 2 outsiders. So in total, that was 32 favourites, 23 draws, which is quite high, and only 14 outsiders. If you look through the outsiders there, so all the Championship had 4, but every other league 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now some of those leagues only had 7 games, so that's fair enough. But even the first right down the National League or the League Two there was only 1 favourite or 1 outsider in the Premier League, 1 outsider in League One, and 2 in League Two. That's not bad. Lots of draws in those leagues, but usually that number would be higher. But in total, that worked out at 46% of favourites won, which is decent, but not what you wanted. In the overs, like I said, I couldn't get over 1.5 bet up, but looking at the over 2.5, so Premier League 5 over, 4 nat. Championship 4 over, 8 nat. League One 4 over, 6 nat. League Two 4 over, 8 nat. National League 3 over, 4 nat. National League North 3 over, 9 nat. National League South 3 over, 4 nat. In total, that was 26 over and 43 nat, which worked out at 37%. And I know I've been saying this, and I talk to friends as well who are big into their overs and they're both to score and things like that. And just overs bets just aren't happening at the minute, especially not in England. Really, really hard to pick overs. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be happening. I was speaking to a few mates and they were saying that they've changed to, one of my mates is doing a goal each half bets. Another one's doing both to score first half or both halves. Just people are just trying to just change it up and do anything they can to get a winner. So look, it's been shit. There's no hiding. But anyway, we'll move on to this week's bet. So as I say, the bets this week is one for Friday. I'll run through both of them quickly, and then I'll come back and give you a bit of info about why. So Friday, Plymouth away to Morecambe, 8-13, that's 1.62. Gateshead at home to Scunthorpe, 8-11, that's 1.73. Gillingham at home to Doncaster, 4-5, that's 1.8. Lens at home to Strasbourg, 2-5, that's 1.4. Stevenage at home to Colchester, 3-5, that's 1.6. On Saturday, Aberdeen at home to Kilmarnock, 17-20, 1.85. Bayer Leverkusen at home to Frankfurt, 17-20, that's 1.85. Villa at home to Forest, 4-7, 1.57. Leipzig away to Berlin, 4-7, that is 1.57 again. And then Malmo away to some team who I can't pronounce, 4-9, that's 1.44. So the first bet's about 10-1, the second bet about 12-1. I think there's a bit of a bonus on the second one. So I'll get into the reasons why here. So first game, Plymouth, right? So Plymouth, I'll get this up here. Plymouth at home to Morecambe. Plymouth currently second in the league. Morecambe way down there in the relegation zone in 22nd. Plymouth third in form. Morecambe way down in bottom of the league, only 1 point. Recent form, home, Morecambe have 2 draws, 2 defeats and a win. Plymouth away, again, not great. They did have that blip, only 2 wins away from home. But I'm just thinking, top v bottom there at a decent price should, work in our favour. Next we go to Gateshead. Gateshead they're actually 19th in the table and Scunthorpe are 23rd, but they're on a really good run. Gateshead, 11 points in the last 5 games. Scunthorpe way down with only 4 points. And then looking at that recent form, Gateshead have 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5 at home. Scunthorpe 3 defeats, 2 draws. Next we go to Gillingham, who Gillingham were in terrible form, and then they've hit a bit of a run. They've got themselves out of the relegation zone, but they're below Doncaster in the league. They're 19th in the league, and Doncaster are 12th. But in form, Gillingham 5th in the table, Doncaster 21st. In recent home form, Gillingham have won 3 in a row at home. They lost the one before that, have won the one before that, so pretty consistent home form. Doncaster 2 draws, 2 defeats, and a win away from home. So hopefully home form there. Then I'll do Stevenage first, even though Lens was next. So Stevenage, currently 3rd in the league. Colchester way down in 21st. Form, Stevenage 8 points, sitting 6th in the form table. Colchester way down in 22nd. Recent form, Stevenage have had a blip too, because they were flying there for a while, and they've had a bit of a blip. They've got 2 wins at home out of the last 5, which isn't great, to be fair. But Colchester in their last 3, draw and 2 losses. They did win the 2 before that. But as I say, it's getting to that business end of the season. These teams that want to finish in the playoffs are automatic. Have got to start getting results, and I think Stevenage will. Then last, these Lens had a bit of a blip there too. But they're still 2nd in the French league. Strasbourg are way down in 16th. Lens 2nd in form. Strasbourg 14th. At home, Lens 3 wins, a draw, and a defeat away from home. Strasbourg, no wins, 3 defeats, and 2 draws. So that's the Friday bet. Then we'll go on to Saturday. And Saturday we'll start with Aberdeen. Aberdeen currently 4th in the table, playing Kilmarnock, who are 10th. Aberdeen 3rd in form, 12 points in the last 15. Kilmarnock only 5 points. They do have a good home record in general. Kilmarnock, this is actually something, they've only got 2 points away from home all season, so terrible away form. Aberdeen's last 5 at home, 4 wins and a defeat. Kilmarnock 3 defeats in a row away from home, and then they won the game before that and lost the game before that. That must have been a cup game then, if they've only got 2 points. Cup quarter final, the one away from home. Next we go to Bayer Leverkusen, who obviously since Xabi Alonso took over are flying. So Lemons and Frankfurt are 6th and they're 7th. But in form, Leverkusen are top, 13 points, and Frankfurt are way down in 15th with only 3 points. Recent home form, they've won 3 in a row at home. They lost the game before that against Mainz, and they lost the game before that, but that was in the Europa League against Monaco. Frankfurt, no wins, 4 defeats and a draw in the last 5 away from home. Next we go to Villa, another team in pretty good form, beat Chelsea, as I said, at the weekend. Currently, 7th, and Forest down in 17th. They're 3rd in the form table, 13 points, and Forest way down there in 19th, only 2 points. Recent home form, so Villa have won 2 in a row at home. They lost against Arsenal in a good game, it was 4-2. They lost against Leicester, and they've won against Leeds the game before that. Forest away, 5 defeats in a row. So now we move on. Germany again, Leipzig. Leipzig currently 5th in the table, playing Hertha, who are 16th. Form, Leipzig, again, another team who had a blip. Only 6 points, and they're only 2 places above Hertha. Hertha have 5 points in the last 5. But they did, Leipzig during the week did hammer Dortmund 2-0 at home in the Cup. And their recent home form isn't that bad. Recent away form. So I'll do Hertha's. Hertha's home form is draw, 2 wins, 2 defeats. Leipzig, say, had that blip, but they lost in the Cup. They've 2 wins, 2 defeats, and this is the last sort of 6, because one of them was a cup game. They did lose their last away game against Bochum, and they lost against City, but that's in the Champions League. But their league games, pretty decent away from home. And then lastly, we'll go to Malmo, It's only the second game of the league season there, so look, it's there is no real form. I'm just looking at that as Malmo are one of the biggest teams in that league, and should be winning. They're 4-9. So that's basically that for the bets. That's Friday and Saturday, and as I say, there will be other bets in and around that there, but I have to have a look at those. I'll do them on the day. So we're looking at next week. So say Monday, full fixture list, all of the Championship, League One, League Two, National League North, National League South. So plenty on. Tuesday, the Champions League's back. Benfica Inter is Tuesday. City Bayern is Tuesday. There's also a couple of other games in Scotland, Scottish Championship, League One, League Two. There's 2 games in the Northern Ireland Premier League. And then on Wednesday, the 2 Champions League games are AC Milan Napoli, which I think will be a good game, and Madrid Chelsea. Be interesting to see what happens there. Thursday's your 4 Europa and your 4 Europa Conference. So that's it for the week. Next week, as I say, I'm going to Euro Disney, so I'm not back till Wednesday. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next week's podcast. I'll maybe just do it Thursday again. But we'll see what we can do. But that's it for this week. It just leaves me to say, if you are doing a bet, good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.